Hello everybody, and welcome to our series that explores every single tool in the myCADtools suite. Today we're going to take a look at a tool called the ProjectManager. This tool is going to require 2 videos, so this will be part 1 of our 2-parter on the ProjectManager. The ProjectManager allows you to duplicate SolidWorks files and gives you a basis to start either a new project from an existing one, or it gives you a safe and easy way to back up a file into a different location. What the ProjectManager does is it allows you to duplicate a SolidWorks project with all of its dependencies based on a reference assembly. So since all of the dependencies remain intact in the assembly, you can either use this as a work basis for a new project, or if you need to send a project to someone else, you can transmit the project and be sure that those dependencies remain intact. You can secure a project backup, and the ProjectManager also makes it possible to restructure a project without duplicating it if so desired. So our key features are automatic transcription of all dependencies, the option to rename the files with prefixes, suffixes, or character swaps, filters by document types or properties, filters by files to be renamed or preserved, and you'll be able to see that these filters are very similar to previous myCADtools filters. We have the option for property management. The ProjectManager duplicates, reorganizes, and creates zip files if you need to send it off to someone else. It also accounts for the removal of components, and it accounts for standard Microsoft Office documents. So there is a lot to the ProjectManager tool, so let's jump right in. Alright, so you'll notice that I don't have SolidWorks open, and that's okay because the ProjectManager is one of the tools in the myCADtools suite that works independently of SolidWorks. And in fact, we have to access it by clicking on the Start menu, and I'll just type in Project, and you can see it's one of the first ones that comes up. In fact, it's the first one, so I'll just click on ProjectManager. And here's the tool. So it looks like there's a lot going on here, and there is. This is a very powerful tool with a lot of different options, but hopefully I'll be able to make sense of it for you. So let's just start at the top. So you can see right here we have Open Assembly and Add Assembly. At this point, these 2 functions are identical. However, if we already had an assembly selected and we wanted to add another one to it to manage, then we would hit the Add Assembly button. Next to that, we have the Select Active Document, and you can see it's grayed out because SolidWorks isn't open. There isn't an active document to select. Next, we have Add Documents, and this is if you want to select individual parts. You can just go in and do it manually that way. And then next to that, we have Expand and Collapse. There's nothing to expand or collapse right now, so we'll have to wait until we have an assembly in there to see these 2 functions. But it seems pretty self-explanatory. So if I were to open up an assembly, let's just use this robot arm here. So I'll go down and open up the assembly. Now if we go back to our Property Manager, you can see that Select Active Document is now available. So I'll just go ahead and click the active document, and that'll add our assembly right there. So now that we have an assembly in our Project Manager, we can expand every single one of these components or collapse them, or we can just do it manually as well if we'd like and select which ones we'd like to expand and then collapse them all. So when I do click on one of these features, you can see that we have a preview down here. We also have a legend that explains to us exactly what's going on. We have SolidWorks part documents read-only, etc., etc. All of this information is right here, just in case you're unsure of what the icon means. So now that we have our assembly selected, we have a couple different options over here. Research location to the document parts and assemblies. This entire field is used if you manually move a folder with the assembly prior to using the ProjectManager tool. It's basically allowing you to say, go ahead and search in this specific folder for the assembly, and then it will grab all of the assembly parts and its dependent features in that folder. Everything in this field can be accomplished using the Dependencies tool, but if for some reason you've moved an assembly from one folder to another, this is the way to locate that and add it to the ProjectManager. The next one down, location of search for the plans related to the project. And by plans, they mean drawings. And we have similar controls. We can add folders or specific drawings just by navigating using this standard browse to folder interface here. Select the drawing folder, click OK, and then by hitting Add Drawings, it adds all the drawings in that folder to our ProjectManager here. If you'd like to get rid of that drawing, you can just hit Suppress Drawing and it will disappear. It might be easy to be confused by the add and suppressed right here, and we also have an active directory. If there is an active directory that's open, we can add it just like opening an active SolidWorks file. However, to be clear, this is how we add the folder in which to look or suppress it. And these controls, add drawing and suppress drawing, take them out of the ProjectManager. We also have a search subfolders option That's in case you do have any subfolders containing drawings and you want the tool to search in those folders as well. Next, we have document information. If we just click through any one of these, it gives us the location of that part, gives you the size, configurations, and the version should also be there, but for some reason this is coming up as unknown. Underneath, we have all of the document properties associated with this SolidWorks part, but just be aware that you cannot change these. These are just for viewing purposes only. So it's a pretty handy tool if you want to just take a look at some document information of your parts or assemblies. And the last little drop down we have is the tools filter. We can filter out parts, assemblies, assembly drawings, part drawings, etc., is fasteners, toolbox. We can go ahead and check or uncheck based on these tool filters. We can also filter out based on properties. If we just click in here and add a property, I'll just go to SolidWorks and copy and paste it so I don't spell it incorrectly. Control C, Control V, criteria, and we can say is equal to, and then just punch in the value. Then we can add another. However, we'll just stick with this one. And then we can check components in this assembly or uncheck them based on that specific property. Just go ahead and leave all of these checked. And we can also filter out according to location. If we'd like to add a specific location, we can just navigate to that and go ahead and check or uncheck based on its location. So all of this functionality comes under the heading of Select. These are all of the selection tools that you have, and this is just going to bring the assembly or part or drawings into the Project Manager that you would like. So that's all that we'll cover today on the Project Manager tool in the myCADtools suite. This tool has so much functionality that we do need a second part, so tune in next week for part 2 of the Project Manager tool. If you do have any questions, please feel free to email us at solidworksupport@mlc-cad.com, and we'll see you next time.